Hi everyone. So in the last few videos, we have seen that we created a multi-agent agentic system in AWS using step functions, Lambda, Bedrock, and uh, triggering with S3 and so on and so forth, right? What we'll do now is, as a continuation of what we are anyway doing, we will basically move towards more advanced contract review systems. That is, what is more enterprise level is what we will look at. Okay, so right now in the step functions we had two steps, which is ingestion and compliance, right? If we talk about an overall agentic contract review system, then you may also have some other steps like risk analysis, approval summary, so on and so forth. So we will basically move towards those and ultimately create a framework so that we move towards that ideal level, right? So although we have created a MVP, but we will make it more advanced, and we will move towards more enterprise level stuff, and complete the entire flow there, which can actually be used by enterprises, but obviously with some customizations. I won't say that that this particular system would be totally enterprise ready. It could be a POC for the enterprise, and then obviously you would have to do some customizations internally and take it from there. But yeah, we have to reach to that level, right? Right now we have a system which basically gets a file from S3. It triggers a Lambda. The Lambda in turn triggers your step functions. Step functions triggers the first ingestion Lambda, which extracts the text, and then that text goes to the compliance Lambda, which internally uses Bedrock, which actually does the compliance part of it, where it returns you the compliance score, and whether the document is compliant or not, and if not, you know what is it that is missing from that document. So that is done in the compliance part of it. Now what I'll do is, in this video we'll look at adding another step in this step functions, which will run parallel to compliance. It would be the risk analysis, right? So we'll create this step again with Lambda, because it's a not a very heavy computing process. Lambda is ideal for this, and internally it would use Bedrock APIs. So let me first show you the architecture and what we are trying to do as a and as an enterprise ready contract review system. What is it that we want to achieve? I'll show you the architecture and we take it from there. Okay, so let me share my screen. So this is what we currently have, right? So we have the S3, which triggers the notification once a file arrives in S3. Then you have a Lambda, which triggers the step functions workflow, and there are two steps in this workflow, which I have totally we have seen out how to create that from scratch in the video series, in the videos prior to this. Now what we'll do is we will add one step after ingestion, and I can't say that it would be before compliance. It could be a parallel running step where these two steps are run in parallel, and it would be obviously orchestrated with the help of step functions. Okay, the step functions orchestration change is something we'll look at in a future video. In this video I'll focus more on creating this risk analysis Lambda, and then we'll see what are the other layers. And coming towards the actual flow, where we want to move towards, so we have basically these steps, which I have highlighted are already complete. We need to add a risk agent, right? And explainability layer. There could be a triage, I think the spelling is wrong, triage decision lambda, which takes a decision based on the scores it gets from the compliance agent and the risk agent. And what would be those decisions, we'll look at when we go there. And we will see how we can persist data in DynamoDB or whatever database we have to choose, and then based on that the notifications sent out to different channels. Okay, and ultimately observability and log and monitoring, which basically will which basically means using CloudWatch and its metrics to help us in decision making. Okay, so this is the entire flow we are looking at. Okay, so let's move towards that. And by the way, I like using very basic flow charts, so I mean it's a simple flow. I didn't want to use complicated tools just to show 8 to 10 steps of what we are trying to do. So that's why I've used this notes itself to show you that. Now let me move towards the actual thing we are going to do in this video. I'll try to be a little bit quick and not to waste time in things which now you are well versed with, right? So since I was starting a bit in the video series, so initially I took more time to show you how the variables get traversed and so on and so forth. But since now you would know and you have something inside of your code base to work with, so things would get little easier. So we can do things little quick. Okay, so let's start on this. Let me first quickly go to the project prompts. So we will follow the technique which has worked for me before. I want to make it easier for you guys, so that is why I have put this prompt cheat sheet as well, so that we don't try to learn on the go too much. Obviously you always keep on learning, right? Learning never stops. But yeah, sometimes AI could be too overwhelming when we just give a prompt and we do R&D. So it becomes difficult for me also to teach when I am just doing research and experimenting with the prompts. So that is why if things have worked for me, then I try to use those things for future videos. That's the way I like to do that. Anyway, so here what I have given is we will try to create a risk analysis lambda, which takes the S3 event as input, and we will try to have another folder created inside agents. That's what I'm giving it as the prompt. Hopefully it recognizes the project. Yes. Okay, let's see. I want to give maybe, file will not matter here. So you have to select the agent and the model. Okay, so yes, so it has returned with the code change. So it created the folder. This is the trigger file and this is the handler. We will change the name to main.py. I think I didn't put that, so it has just put a standard name there. So okay, so one thing is we have not put Bedrock here. Okay, so that is something it needs to put there, which we will do now. First let me rename this file to main.py. Okay, and we also have to add the IAM execution role related stuff. Okay, we will basically fine tune the main.py. Anyway, a lot of things need to change. It has come up with the basic file, at least the setup is done, folder is created, file is created. Okay, we will go one by one here. So let me select the IAM.tf inside of your infra. Okay, so hope it adds the IAM execution role related stuff in IAM. Then it has to change the lambda.tf. That is what I have told as well in the prompt. The lambda.tf needs to be changed, and then in the main.tf as well, in the infra root, you would need to add those additional variables there. Okay, so let's see if it is able to do that with this prompt. Yes, so it has come back with the output. So it has changed. Let us first see what are the changes it has done. So as expected, it has changed the policy document data section for this new lambda. The IAM role resource section it has provided and attached that data to the resource, and then the role policy where you attach the role and the policy together, right? So which is fine. Outputs, it has added the outputs related to the lambda.tf. it just had to copy the resource in the same way we did for the other lambdas, right? Which should be fine. Now what happened is that it, I think, got confused with it got confused a little bit with the existing S3 key variables which we are having. So it has created all these variables for the S3 key, but obviously, as we saw, we are not using S3 bucket and S3 key inside of lambda right now, right? So sometimes you just have to tell the copilot to be away from such changes, right? Which is what I tried to do in the prompt, but somehow it just tries to act over smart sometimes. So I obviously accepted all the changes, but S3 key related changes we just have to remove, which we will do real quick, okay? Because we don't want to complicate the stuff right now, right? So we don't require that. We just needed the risk analysis timeout related stuff, which I think we don't require here. We require it in the lambda variable section, right? Because directly we can just assign that timeout default value there itself. Why do you want to create variable here, right? Which I think again it got confused, and it has created the timeout variables for the ingestion and compliance lambdas also. I'll remove that. See, the lesser the code, lesser the headache. So always keep the code bare minimum. That's the way I like it. But sometimes AI just won't get it right. So that is why we have to see what all things it is adding and what is it that it shouldn't add, right? And all the things you cannot basically put in the prompt also, right? Sometimes you just have to change some things here and there. That is why architecture knowledge, knowing in and out of AWS, the technical knowledge obviously is required. AI just can't do anything and everything for you, right? So I'm just removing the variables right now. as I speak. Obviously the zip path is needed, that's it. it had it just had to add the zip path, I mean, so these things were not at all required, right? And even though I told it to copy whatever was done from other two lambdas, but still it just tries to act over smart, right? I mean, after all, it's AI, and AI was created by a human only, right? So I think we get that part, right? Okay, so it is using the role ARN and pushing that ARN. Obviously there has to be a variable for the role ARN there, which is there. We don't need the S3 key. Okay, that's it, done. And these two lines not required. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think this is fine. uh, yes, so let's also add the changes in the environments side. Hope you remember that we have to add that zip path here, because zip path will be given by the user as a environment variable. Okay, so this is your risk. What is the name? Let's just quickly check the name here. Variables, risk analysis zip path. Okay, we will name it the same thing here and create the variable real quick. Okay, and finally the value would come from here. Okay, so we'll basically zip it up under risk analysis dot zip, and this would be risk analysis. Hope that is the folder name it took. Yes. Okay, so we are sorted on this one. Yes, now let's move towards I think IAM related we already saw. So it is basically allowing S3 logs and also Bedrock, so it is doing that, which is fine. Now moving towards the agent part, let's quickly go to the next prompt. So here in this prompt, what I'm telling is to basically update this analysis lambda code to analyze the risk in the document, and I'm giving a structured JSON, which helps it make it more, which helps the output being more structured from the risk analysis lambda. Okay, and let me put that prompt. Okay, anyway we had to basically review and update the lambda code in the risk analysis part. So this particular prompt should help us do that. Yes, so it has basically updated the Lambda code, and also I put this prompt to little bit update it further and take a cue from compliance Lambda. So we did some changes at that time in compliance Lambda, so I just asked it to take a cue from that and put the model ID which worked there. So now I think it has done that. I already put that prompt. So in this way also you can refine the prompts. Let's quickly check what we have inside of our main.py. So there has to be a handler function, which is your main function or the entry point. So it is expecting whatever the text it extracts, and then there is a make prompt. In the make prompt it is creating this prompt template kind of thing and putting the extracted text into the prompt. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, and then you have the invoked Bedrock, which takes prompt as the input. By the way, you already have Bedrock model ID defined at the top, which contains your the model which we gave for the compliance. I'm using the same Amazon Nova model because it worked for us, and the Bedrock engine we are giving as US East one, right? So this is fine. So invoke Lambda, we have the prompt, and then this is the body, and then it tries to invoke that model, and so on and so forth. So let's quickly test this out. There is already a trigger.py it has created. Okay, this contains the testing event JSON, which will contain the key and the bucket name, right? So this is basically hard coded right now, which is this is the bucket, this is the contract it would take from that bucket, right? And obviously it will not go to the S3 to pick it up right now. I suppose let's quickly check. So it is working on the extracted text, right? So it basically expects the extracted text in the event, right? Make event. What did we do in compliance? Let me quickly check. This is the Bedrock related part. Yes, so basically this will come from the ingestion Lambda, right? Ingestion Lambda would have already ingested and extracted the text, so we shouldn't go to S3 in our compliance and risk analysis Lambdas, because extraction because it's no point going to S3 again. We need the extracted text, which is already happening in ingestion, right? So yes, we are fine here. So we just need to basically, to test this out, we would need to provide the extracted text only, right? Let me quickly check if we have somewhere where we can put the extracted text, right? Otherwise we will get it from ingestion Lambda, don't worry about it. Okay, so to test this out, we would need to go to ingestion once. So basically you can get that extracted text, which is what I did. We already had it inside of compliance Lambda. We already used it there, so I just copied it from there. I put the extracted text, that documents text here inside of main.py, and and now we can check if the Bedrock is getting called in risk analysis, and we take it from there. Okay, so let me trigger the trigger.py inside of risk analysis. Okay, so it has basically got some results. Okay, there may be some modification, small fine-tuning required in your main.py, but more or less the Lambda code is ready for the risk analysis. So what we'll do is we will do the fine-tuning and the TFE apply for the okay. So we don't have the Lambda there. It is just that we are testing that in our local, right? Basically the Lambda code we are testing with our local user. Okay, whatever code is there inside of that, right? So after this we would need to also push the new Terraform changes, which we will do in the next video. Yeah, we'll follow this with applying the Terraform changes to our AWS cloud, and then try to edit these step functions state, adding this risk analysis step also there, and then we will try to test the entire flow. So hope you are enjoying the video series. Comment and subscribe to the channel. Since we specialize in agentic AI implementation stuff, and also stuff related to contract review automation, specifically inside of AWS ecosystem. So if there are any queries, consultation, or if you want to work with us, details would be there in the description. And with that, I'll sign it off, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.